Now to the case of Eliza Fletcher, the 34-year-old kindergarten teacher and mother of two who was abducted and killed. Her alleged kidnapper appeared in court today. He is facing new charges that may bring the death penalty. Newsmax correspondent Sarah Williamson has been following this story. She has the latest on this. Sarah.
That's right. Cleotha Abston, the man suspected of abducting and killing the 34-year-old Eliza Fletcher, was arraigned this morning in West Tennessee and was in the courtroom on these murder charges. Now, the $500,000 bond previously set by the judge has now been revoked and he will be held without bail. Now, today was Abston's second appearance in court, this time with new charge of first-degree murder added to his initial charges of especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. Cleotha Abston is a particularly violent past and has been in trouble with the law since he was 11 years old. Court documents have listed Abston as a violent man from the age of 16 with several felony convictions on his record. The violent crimes include rape, aggravated assault and with an especially aggravated kidnapping charge in 2000, which he was then released in 2024. And just to recap what happened, Abston is accused of kidnapping Fletcher in her Memphis city early on Friday when she was set out for her early morning jog around 4 a.m. Her body was recovered around 7.5 miles away from her alleged abduction site, and she has now been found, and Abston will appear again in court on Thursday.
Yeah, and in case anybody forgets, this is a real human being with a real family.
This is a mother. This is a teacher. There's these videos coming to light now of just how much of a beautiful woman she really was, and it just to put this human aspect. Take a look at this video. If we could just play the sound here, just to get a glimpse of how much of a beautiful woman she was.
Ready? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Miss you girls. Now you need to let the light shine at your house, and I will see you later.
So
she taught little kids at a private school.
She did.
There in Memphis.
She did, and that's just gives you a real humanizing sort of aspect to this story of a woman we don't know, but we can all feel connected to her by seeing videos like that really hit you sort of close to home.
I have a pet peeve in that people trying to blame her for being out running at 4 in the morning. First of all, you shouldn't be killed just because you did that. Now, when my wife goes running, of course, I do think about being dark and where is she going to be. And when she trained to run marathons, she did it with friends. So they were out early doing that. But this woman, Eliza Fletcher, was an ultra marathoner. So if you do that, you got to get up like 3 or 4 in the morning to go run to get your miles in before going to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is a pet peeve of mine too, because no matter where you are or no matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter if you're a woman. I understand that it's unfortunate that we do live in a society where we do have to actually watch what we're doing. I'm a runner as well, but we shouldn't have to worry about these things.
Right.
This is not something that we should have to think about in a society in 2022. If you want to run, there is street lights. She should be able to just go on a run.
She should be able to go on a run no matter what.
No matter what time of day, it should never be an issue. And the fact that it was is incredibly terrifying.
Let's continue the conversation. Sarah, if you stay there, we want to bring in retired U.S. military intelligence officer Stephen Rogers and former FBI agent Michael Grimm. Steve, your thoughts when you see this story?
Well, first of all, good for you. You put a face on a crime victim, and what a tribute to that mom. So I'll tell you what, it was touching, but good for you. The fact of the matter is, as you mentioned earlier, when people have the audacity to say she shouldn't be out there in the morning, well, I'm out at 4 or 5 in the morning, so is my wife. This is America. You should be able to walk the street safe and do what you want safely. The real bad person is the criminal who committed this act. And by the way, I would dare to say that perhaps some of those who after looking at that rap sheet, allowed this guy to get out of prison and walk the streets again.
Yeah.
She was indeed the victim.
Yeah, Michael, I wanted to talk about that. In fact, Sarah had the story of all the priors he had. Now, you get away with this, if you will, because he was young when he committed those. And then at 16, committed the kidnapping. He would arguably have killed this other person who escaped while he kidnapped him, took him to ATMs using his card to get money, and sentenced to 20. By the way, also sentenced for another 11 years that they served concurrently instead of sequentially. Another reason he was out when he was. This just drives me crazy when you get, just because of his age, when you're doing this thing from a young age, maybe you're not appropriate for society right now.
Listen, Bob, it's a heartbreaking story, right? I think you just spoke about it well, but this is a real person. On the other side of this is a real monster, okay? And the reality is the recidivism rate is indicative when you look at the criminology. Put my FBI agent hat on for a second. From a criminology perspective, these types of criminals usually escalate over time. And I think if you look at the rap sheet, you see that.
Oh, and it was bad enough already.
Exactly the point. So this was inevitable that one escaped, but that would have been a murder if she didn't escape. But the murder was coming. And that's the point. And I think that the court system needs to see that. This is also emblematic, if we take us the broader step back, of where we are in America right now and the violence and crime that is growing everywhere. So whether you want to talk about a woman going out on a run or a man going out on a run, to me, there's no difference. Male, female, going out on a run early in the morning. To me, none of that is relevant because it can happen at any time of the day, anywhere in any major city because crime's out of control.
I hate to ask you this way, but do other countries, you've been a reporter around the world, do they look at us and think we're crazy when they see stuff like this happening?
They don't think you're crazy, of course not. But there is a lot more crime that does get committed here. And it does have to do with the fact that you do have an incredibly large population as well. So that does come into play. But I would say I felt safer when I would go on my runs in Israel and in Australia.
And that's the Middle East, right?
And that's the Middle East. That is the Middle East. But there is something that I want to actually bring up here as well, just to that point. A Middle Eastern country where some people, although it is Tel Aviv and it's a lot more liberal, but what people are saying that she should not be out running at that time because she maybe has brought this on herself is the exact same thing as saying that a woman is responsible for being for her own rape just for wearing a skirt. When people turn around and say it's her fault that she got raped because of the clothes that she was wearing, is the same kind of logic saying that this woman deserved to be murdered because she decided to go on a run at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And Stephen, I think that the main thing a lot of people, when they look at this, they want justice. And he's going to be up for the death penalty. I would hope he's up for the death penalty.
I would hope he gets a death penalty, and I would hope that people would realize that they got to make significant changes in the way we work with a judicial system. We no longer have a system that presents justice. My goodness. Think about this one. You know what I was worried about? Somebody would come up with $50,000 and get this guy out again.
I was too. Because you can get a fraction of it and get bond, and so the $500,000 really is just 50. But that's why he revoked it. I think he was afraid that would happen.
Well, absolutely. So lessons learned. We got to strengthen our criminal justice system that protects people, potential crime victims, and that puts these people away, meaning the criminals, for the rest of their lives. We used to have 3 strikes and you're out. Well, I think we need 1 strike and you're out, and that ends it.
I agree, and I would go a step farther from putting them away for the rest of
Just finally, I think it says about your justice system as well that after 20 years of being in jail, it doesn't actually give any rehabilitation whatsoever.
Well, he certainly didn't. All right, Steve Rogers, Michael Grimm, Sarah, thank you very much.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.